Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, and I mean finally, the Heartbreaker has found a man worthy enough to come on this podcast and share his gold with. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Heartbreaker has found Mr. Roman Alexander. Look at that, though. He's got one more title than the Heartbreaker. So the Heartbreaker's feeling a little bit lonely tonight. But that's fine because we're in the glory of the Roman era. He's running.
Yes, absolutely you are. Absolutely you are. I don't mean to cut you off there, but right now you are in the presence of greatness. Not only have I been doing this for 16 years, but I am the Tucson City champion. I am one half of the Sonoran Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champions. I am the uncle, Roman Alexander. Thank you for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being
And
on.
now to the rest of our illustrious panel. Let's start down there.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can introduce them now. It's okay.
Sitting down there beside Mr. Roman, you know, in that little baggy sweatshirt that looks like if he put his hair in a light pocket would give him a promo from hell. That's right. That's Mr. Principal Tap. And the man up beside me in the yellow shirt that looks like Big Bird with a maxi pad in his mouth. Yeah, he's the biggest Orange Cassidy fan. So I just think he's okay from anywhere, but he weighs, who knows? I don't care, you know? And he sounds like paint drying, and he puts my beautiful Triple C to sleep every time that hears him talk. So your titles may end up going to sleep because he can't talk normal. He doesn't have monotone in his voice. And I'm talking about the one, the only, crippled British fish Messiah.
You call him the crippled British fish and the man that sounds like paint drying? That's terrible.
I don't know about the British fish, but he's just jealous because I make this mask look good, and there is a reason why I'm wearing it.
Are you in a room by yourself? Are you in a room by yourself, Cripple? Okay.
No.
Okay.
I live in a nursing home, and we have a little bit of COVID in the building, and I'm supposed to go to AEW in 2 days.
Oh, then definitely keep it on. You know, you don't want the scamdemic to get you.
Oh, no. That happened once before. I'm not doing that again.
Oh, looks like we lost the prince. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. He's got to put himself in detention.
Well, let's go ahead and start this interview off right there, Big Bird, or should I say Maxi Pad.
Well, since you have an unhealthy infatuation with Sesame Street, I guess I'll go first. So, who were some of your wrestling heroes growing up?
Oh, absolutely. Kevin Nash is by far my number one. Kurt Hennig, number two. And Chris Benoit.
Oh, that's okay.
Hold on. Chris Benoit.
You don't have to hide that on here.
The Crippler was always one. Dean Malenko, the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. Hell, even fucking Lex Luger. You know.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't understand why. Me, it was Hulk Hogan. Like, growing up, like, Hulk Hogan was like, but later it was like, John Cena. I got caught up in the rap John Cena, not so much the never give up John Cena, but
the ruthless aggression era.
Yes.
Okay. I'm creeping up on age here, so I'm kind of an old fart. So I'm a golden era and early attitude era guy. So Texas Tornado was one of my favorites. So really looking forward to Iron Claw with the Von Erichs, and then like I said, Kevin Nash is by far my number one favorite, followed by Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig.
All the ones that I idolized were from wrestled in Portland.
Oh, nice. So some Oregon boys.
Yeah, Rip Oliver, Matt Bourne, Buddy Rose.
Doink the Clown, huh?
Yep.
So you're a big Doink the Clown guy, huh?
Yes.
I actually just started Monday Night Raw from the beginning, and Evil Doink is on there. And it's kind of funny because Sean Mooney is one of the backstage interviewers, and on Saturday night I did a benefit show here in Tucson, and Sean Mooney was a part of the show. So it was kind of cool to get to meet him and talk about some of those old stories, man. It was great.
That would have been amazing.
Oh, it was awesome. Awesome. You know, you got to kind of try not to mark out too hard for that, but it was cool just to talk about stories, especially with Bobby Heenan dressing up like a woman and then like a rabbi, the Repo Man still in the Macho Man's hat, and just asking him about it, how it was. It was really a cool and humbling experience, you know.
Oh, I could imagine. All right,
Wow.
Heartbreaker, who'd you analyze, except for yourself in the mirror?
He looked like he was like a Bam Bam Bigelow fan.
I was gonna say
One Man Gang, Yokozuna, Red Rooster.
You're not too far
Red
off.
Rooster.
You're not too far off. I do like the Samoan dynasty. Minus, and I'm so sorry you share his name. I despise Roman Reigns.
How? Hold on. Honestly, that guy is hands down the best heel in the business right now.
He is. But
Yeah,
I've got a thing
Go ahead.
against holding titles hostage for 4 years.
it's not his fault. It's not like he's pulling an Ultimate Warrior and saying, you know, give me so much money or I'm going to walk. There's just nobody really there just yet. I honestly thought it was going to be LA Knight. I was very disappointed with the match at Crown Jewel.
Yep.
Because LA Knight actually used to work here when I first broke in. I was a year or two in, and he was on the independents here in Arizona. So I've been on 10 shows with him. And that was even before Eli Drake. So,
Right,
you know,
sir.
the guy's a workhorse. He honestly deserves it. But I don't know. I was very, very disappointed with the match.
Well, and the fact that the referee messed up too, didn't?
What's up?
The fact that the referee messed up too, and so technically LA Knight should have won.
It was just very anticlimactical, you know, the whole Jimmy interfering and then just a spear. And yeah, it was just especially after coming off of Drew and Seth and then the women, and it was bad. It was just all bad.
I would have to agree with that.
So,
all right, Heartbreaker, what do you got?
yeah, come on, rapid fire, let's go.
Hey, in your personal opinion, who's the best wrestler or actor turned or wrestler turned?
You had it right there.
There we go.
Too busy looking at the belt.
Dave Bautista, hands down.
Good choice.
Have you watched Knock at the Cabin?
Yes.
Yeah, I had to
He's
watch
got
that on Halloween night.
Yeah, Nathan's got
Knock at the Cabin.
Got a story.
I mean, I love The Rock, but Black Adam sucked. Cena is just not as good in movies. Hulk Hogan movies were for the 90s. John Cena's, he's getting there, but I think hands down when it comes to just adapting to the movies and becoming an actor and getting away from wrestling, it's 100% Dave Bautista. He did great in Guardians. He did great in what was it, Knives Out. The Uber movie was good. Just everything he's been in, and then I think hands down he killed it with Knock at the Cabin.
I have a very interesting story about that movie. So I told you I live in a nursing home, and they turn all the lights off at 10 o'clock.
Oh, God.
In the hallway, and I turn my lights off because my mom goes to sleep. I don't be rude. And so I'm watching the movie, and it gets to the part where he's ready to come into the cabin, and it's all quiet and stuff. And I told you I'm in a wheelchair and I can't walk. Somebody came up and tapped me on the shoulder right as he was about ready to enter the door.
You screamed like a girl, didn't you?
No, I almost
walked.
You
almost walked. Oh, man.
I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, no, that was a really good movie. Good plot twist. And he should win an award for his role in that movie. That movie was fantastic.
Absolutely.
And I'm still the only one who hasn't watched that movie yet. I kind of feel bad. I should go watch it.
I would definitely watch it. It's on Prime. It's free.
It's even on Peacock still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But okay, Mr. Principal Tapass. If you can get your hand out of the light socket long enough, you can ask a question. Just make it simple for the man, because simple is better.
Make it complicated. I'm here. I came to play.
Uh-oh.
I'm not the Miz, but I came to play.
Uh-oh. You shouldn't have asked for that.
Uh-oh.
You say you grew up on the classics.
Oh,
yes,
Lord.
Sir.
Here we go.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Top 5 underrated wrestlers.
The Texas Tornado. Owen Hart. Mr. Perfect. By far, Mr. Perfect is probably the most underrated wrestler of all time. So that's 3. Brian Pillman. And let's see. Brian Pillman. And probably Coco Beware.
Ooh, good choice.
Yeah.
And the thing about Mr. Perfect, how could you not give Mr. Perfect a world title belt in WWE? The man did everything else in WWE. I mean,
because of his backstage shenanigans. There's a lot of us that, myself included, which, just like anybody, it could be your downfall is what you do backstage. So, you have to carry yourself as a professional in and out of the ring. And if you can't carry yourself as a professional out of the ring, how can that company that relies on you to carry yourself as a professional in the ring? So,
and that's why that's why WWE never took the belt off of Brett when he faced Owen.
Mm-hmm.
Because Owen was doing the same thing.
Well, and that's the reason that the WWF made Mr. Perfect a commentator, after 93. That's unfortunately, and that's why he went to WCW. So
they did the same thing with Randy Savage too.
Yep.
Exactly. So, you just have to carry yourself like a professional. You want to be a professional athlete, you need to carry yourself like a professional in and out of the ring. And if you're boozing and drugging backstage, how can that company, install faith in you to carry their brand and their name in the ring, especially on TV? So
all I can say is there's one person in my book that is most underrated, and shame on Eric Bischoff for not utilizing his talents, and that's Bobby Eaton.
Beautiful Bob.
Yep.
So I have to harp on Eric Bischoff for not utilizing his talents.
No, Bobby Eaton was fantastic. So, Steven Regal too. Steven Regal was very, Steven Regal is one of the best technical wrestlers of all time. I mean, when you're that good and you can go in there and manhandle somebody like Bill Goldberg,
yep,
come on, Dean Malenko was one of the greatest of all time, and he was very underutilized. Arn Anderson by far is probably the greatest to never hold a world title.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the U.S. title, the TV title, the tag team titles, but there's no reason Arn Anderson should have never been a world champion.
I completely agree. So, what's the craziest match you've ever been in?
I was in a Four Corners of Pain match with my trainer, a man by the name of Chaos. So in Tucson, the company I was trained in, when they first started, they were a very deathmatch oriented company. And when I was finally established and started branching out, I helped get away from that. But me and my trainer, we built a story as we were tag team partners for about 7 years, 10-time tag team champions, and he turned on me. And we built a story, and finally the finale was he was one half of the tag team champions. I was the other half. He was the deathmatch king of Arizona. So I faced him in a Four Corners of Pain match, barbed wire, thumbtacks, basically everything that goes in a death match. And the winner walked away with both tag titles. And unfortunately, him and the help of 5 other guys, I was defeated. But yeah, that was the roughest one. There was thumbtacks, barbed wire, cheese graters, a machete, tables, chairs. So,
wow.
Yeah, I should have sent you that one. That one is definitely online too. Storytelling wise, it made sense to do it. It's not something I like to do. I'm not a very deathmatch oriented guy, but the story we were telling at that time, it made perfect sense. The student versus the trainer in the trainer's kind of match, and he came out on top. It was a rough one.
Match.
Yeah, it was wild. It was definitely wild. It was here in Tucson. The crowd was fantastic. I think we had about 300 people at the show in a little arena, which is good for a small Tucson show. But it was definitely wild. It's online. I'll send it to you after this. But it was it was definitely a wild one. I've been in a few hardcore deathmatch type matches, but I tend to stick to a normal traditional style of wrestling.
Understandable. All right, Heartbreaker, what do you got?
Well, seems how he's got a single championship and a tag team championship. Let's talk about his top 5 tag teams of all time.
Ooh. Top tag team, hands down, the Steiner brothers. Hands down. Then, actually, I might have to put the Brain Busters, but not just the Brain Busters, the Horsemen, but the team of Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. I would probably put them number 1 because Arn Anderson. I didn't say him in my my top 5, but Arn is there. There's a reason I throw the Spine Busters because of Arn. And like I was saying, Arn is one of the most underrated guys of all time. So Arn and Tully, number 1. LOD, the Steiners, the Hart Foundation. Let's see. That's 3. I was big on the American Males, Steve Austin and Brian Pillman. Or not the American Males, the Hollywood Blondes.
Yep.
But I was big on the American Males, but they're not in it. And then probably the Eliminators, Saturn and Cronus.
Yeah.
Then with the Dudleys following short behind that, but that's probably my top 5.
You just made me smile because before I did this podcast, I did an internet radio show with the original Pitbull, Gary Wolf.
Oh, Gary Wolf is awesome. The Pitbulls were great. I've actually had just through Facebook and stuff. Gary Wolf will message me or just be like, "Awesome match," or congratulations, a happy birthday here and there. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, Gary's a great guy. Just don't talk to him about Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman still owes him money, or the WWE version of ECW. You're good to go.
Yeah, I'll make sure not to do that.
All right, the other person without a title in this room. Your question.
I think that title's starting to go to his head.
They do sometimes, especially when you're very young and green in the business.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna throw a curveball on you.
All right. I played baseball for 25 years of my life, so the curveball was my pitch.
Out of these five wrestlers, who had the best catchphrase? The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, baby. Yes,
Nature
baby.
Boy with Flair.
Woo!
Hulk Hogan.
What you gonna do, brother?
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Woo!
And Ted DiBiase.
The $1 Million Man, because everybody's got a price. Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
That's the truth.
Yes, sir. You know who was very underutilized too and was great and fantastic until he got hurt? Was Ravishing Rick Rude.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one that would have gone far if he didn't get injured.
Yes.
Yep.
Magnum.
Oh, Magnum TA. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Ivan Koloff. Yeah. He was great. Fantastic.
So, top 5 tag teams in Arizona today, and you can add you and your nephew if you like.
Well, obviously, the number one tag team in Arizona is myself and Gabriel Alexander, the Alexanders. Number 2, I would go with the Regulators. They're a trio. They're the Impact Zone Wrestling Tag Team Champions. That's Thugnificent, The Shade, and EJ Sparks. Number three, who would I put as a tag team in AZ? It's kind of hard. Probably Final Destination, Charles Cassis, who is the heavyweight champion of Impact Zone Wrestling, the King of Arizona, Evan Daniels, and Bryce Saturn. Number 4, I'd probably go with Cosmic Country. They're the number 1 contenders for the SCW Tag Team Champions. That's Billy Crook and Donnie Palmer. And then the Neon Stallions, who are the current reigning High Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions.
Sounds like a lot of talent.
Yeah, that's Stevie Ray Femme and Eddie Atlas. Oh, actually, there's another team that I did not recognize, and I don't know how, because unfortunately we just lost to them last night, is Barrio Bling, Tecolote, and Narvel. They are the Throwback Era Tag Team Champions, and they were able to overcome the Alexanders by nefarious means. But we will see them again. I guarantee come 2024, you'll be seeing Roman Alexander with 3 belts instead of 2.
There you go.
Yes.
Then you'll have 2 more than the Heartbreaker.
I already had. All right. Well, I could go get. I'm still technically the reigning, one half of the reigning Cactus League Wrestling champion, tag team champions, but we don't talk about Cactus League Wrestling these days.
Gotcha.
Very good times there, though.
Well, and for the record here, Messiah, I am handing this baby off to a very, very, very special gentleman.
Yes,
hopefully it's somebody that earns it and you're not just giving it to them.
Well, he is our belt keeper for this match. He is one half of a tag team from the former.
Can you get Daddy a beer, please?
He is
absolutely.
one half of the tag team from WWE. He is one and only Tucker Knight.
Bottle opener. Who?
Tucker Knight.
Tucker Knight. Oh, Tucker Knight from NXT?
Yes, from Heavy Machinery with Otis. And
Heavy Machinery.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Heavy Machinery.
He's gonna be our belt keeper and present this title to the winner of our first show. The first show. So
that's awesome.
So you're right there, Messiah. The Heartbreakers got to part ways with the Triple C here very, very soon. Because it's
well, hopefully you guys keep following me and would like to. Hopefully we can get me out there wherever that is, and possibly with my nephew. But as a singles competitor, obviously you see I can go for gold, and as a tag team wrestler, I go for gold, and everything that glitters turns to gold around Roman Alexander. Diamonds are forever, but so are Alexander's.
So we hear.
Love it. And yes, we can make that happen on a future show. So
absolutely, man. I would love to come out and pound on some jabronis out there.
So you did Arizona Talent. We did tag teams. We did males. So we would be remiss if we didn't show love to the ladies. So your top 5 female wrestlers of all time.
Of all time. All right. Rhea Ripley is hands down the baddest female on the planet. Hands down. After her, I would probably go with Io Sky, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Alexa Bliss.
Wow, that's a good list.
That's a really good list.
Yeah. And that's just from not only a character basis, but the way these women can work in the ring. Ronda Rousey, I give Ronda Rousey a lot of credit for coming in very, very quick and achieving everything she's did. It's almost like kind of like Logan Paul. A lot of people right now are hating on Logan Paul, but the guy is good, and the guy puts in the work, and he's a student of the game. And Ronda Rousey came in and she trained with Santino Brothers, which I've worked with countless members of Santino Brothers, and that's one of the best schools out there in the world right now is Santino Brothers, and that's Joey Chaos and Robbie Phoenix. R.I.P. Rest in Peace. Supreme was one of the biggest ones, but that's where Big Brody King comes from. Tyler Bateman, Eli Everfly, Matt Vandegrift, Slice Boogie. There's a lot of these guys doing Tito Escondido, Big Bad Dude Tito, who's part of TDMK right now. So Santino Brothers, they don't play around, man. That's a huge school. And for her to go, Ronda Rousey to go in there, get seal of approval, and then show up the way she did, take that beating at that Survivor Series from Charlotte Flair with the kendo stick, and still manage to do it, Ronda Rousey's probably number 6.
I agree with that.
For sure. So.
All right, Principal, what do you got?
Since you brought him up, what's your opinion on Logan Paul winning the United States title at Crown Jewel?
I think it's great. One, he's got such a huge platform and a base of fans. It brings a whole new audience to the WWE. The guy is good. The match was not bad. He saved Rey Mysterio's life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not a lot of guys will do that. Like Rey Mysterio's, he definitely botched that and was falling short. And Logan Paul put his body on the line to jump in and say, I've had to do that too, so I know what it's like. And the biggest thing we do is you want to protect your opponent. So he stepped in there to make sure Rey Mysterio was safe on that, and then still was able to get up and execute, the next move. And man, much respect and props to Logan Paul for that. Logan Paul, yeah, he's a cocksucker on the outside, but it's his gimmick, whatever. The boxing thing, whatever. But the dude puts in the work, and the guy can actually go in there and bang with the best in the world. He's been in there with Roman. He's been in there with The Miz. He's been in there with Ricochet. Now Rey Mysterio. Like, people are hating on him because of who he is and his platform. They're not realizing the talent that he actually has in the ring.
Yep.
It's a business of talented men and women. And the guy has talent. He's very good. He looks good. He's a star. He has a huge platform. So with people hating on him the way they do, he's doing his job.
And plus, he has a big heart for what he did to save Rey.
Absolutely. He knew what he had to do.
For that.
Yeah, a lot of respect. And a lot of the boys respect that. Backstage, he probably went backstage and there was a lot of high fives, a lot of hugs. Like, dude, you saved his life.
And it wasn't like he had a lot of time to do that either. That was like a split second. Like, I'm gonna drop down to my knee and catch you on my shoulder type thing.
And he had to jump and lunge, to do that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Rey told him to end the match.
Oh yeah. No, I've been in situations like that where I've been in small bar shows and a guy did a flip over the top rope and he almost hit his head on one of those thick like a trash can, but it was ceramic and pebbled and like an ashtray. Yeah. And I had to jump in there and grab him and pull him back so his head didn't smash it. His head would have hit that, it probably would have killed him. And
wow.
You have to, above all means, protect your opponent, protect yourself.
Absolutely. So I asked you the independent male wrestlers or tag teams in Arizona. Like the Heartbreaker, I should give some love to the women. Top 5 independent women wrestlers in Arizona right now.
In Arizona right now, I would probably say number 1 would probably be Bryn Thorne. Number 2, Brittany Brooks. There's not a whole lot of female wrestlers that come from Arizona. So that's 2. There's a rookie that just debuted on Saturday night who is going to be a huge factor. But before her, I would have to say Sassy. Sassy is probably number 3. Then Fallen Gray is coming up, and then number 5, probably J-Rod. But I don't know if J-Rod is out of Arizona. I've only worked a few shows with her. But like I said, there's not a whole lot of female wrestlers locally that are from Arizona here. But when it comes to Arizona, by far, Bryn Thorne is at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, I'm glad you said Brittany Brooks. We've actually had her on the podcast, and she's one of the nicest ladies.
Oh, yeah, she's a sweetheart. Another one of the girls, she's not from here, but she comes through a lot, who I have mad love with. And she, I look at her as one of my own kids, is Gypsy Mac.
Yep.
From Over the Ropes. I do a lot of stuff with Over the Ropes, the OTR crew out there in New Mexico, and Gino Rivera and his crew. A lot of those kids come my way through Arizona. So each and every one of them are fire. Gypsy Mac is definitely one of the top females in the country as well.
Yeah.
And then
we've had on the Spanish list or something like that, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, she just came up. I think she was her and Dante King were both on it.
Yes, they were, and congratulations for that. But
yeah, those are both 2 students from Gino Rivera, 2 kids I've had in my home, and they've come through here, and Yeah, we love them out here. I'll actually be on a show with them December 3rd for Lucha Libre 4.
Nice.
You know, not only do I pair it up in American wrestling, but I can switch sides and go lucha.
I believe that. And that match with Flip, you didn't do very many like lucha stuff, but I kind of saw little hints here and there. You know what I mean? So,
oh yeah, that's a funny thing, is because Flip Gordon is actually one of my best friends in the world. He's going to be he's actually one of my groomsmen in my wedding, and this
cool.
crazy world of wrestling just kind of brought us together. We actually opened a wrestling school together called Cactus League Wrestling, and this was maybe late 2018 or early 2019. We opened Cactus League Wrestling together. The promoter was super young and brought Flip Gordon in and just kind of pawned him off on me. And I was like, absolutely. And we just became really good buddies. And he is one of my best friends to this day, which is awesome.
Very cool.
Guy is one of the best in the world. Hands down, the best wrestler I've ever been in the ring with.
Well, you guys definitely have chemistry. That's for sure. So.
Yeah. And, I was very lucky to walk out of there by the skin of my teeth still with my championship.
And I believe
being about 100 pounds heavier than him, I think I was able just to hold him down a little bit,
Yeah, like I said, that was a great sequence. So
absolutely, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then that other match I sent you with myself and Chris Evans and Johnny Suave. Those are two of if we want to get into singles males out of Arizona, those are two of the best by far. Chris Evans and Johnny Suave.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that match. That match was awesome. I mean, you guys tore it up in that match too. So
yeah, a lot of history there between the three of us.
But I think we've interviewed Gino, and I think we interviewed one other lady that's in the Arizona wrestling scene who's actually injured right now. Hope you're getting better. But that's
Anime?
That's
SOS. Oh man, I love SOS. She's I've been on many shows with her. SCW, where I'm the tag team champion, is actually her home promotion. So yeah, we're just waiting on her recovery and waiting for her to come home. So yeah, SOS is a top. She's definitely one of the top females here too. She's been hurt for a few months now. I didn't even think about her. So that's my bad. If she's watching this, my bad. Yes.
And one person we've tried to get on this podcast for many, many months. The ad for named Gypsy Mac.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gypsy. Yeah, she's great. She's fantastic. I love Gypsy. She's come a long way. She's definitely one of the baddest females in the country right now.
All right,
my daughter loves.
What do you got?
What do I got? Oh, is it my turn already? Okay, well, let's see.
Or maybe the belt has a question. Who knows? You talk to that thing, Morgan.
Well, we want to know your pre and your post-match routine.
Post or pre-match?
Both.
My post-match usually consists of, if I'm lucky enough to have the day off from my normal job, that thank God a lot of independent wrestlers don't have. I have health insurance through my job. I have a great job. I make really good money. So if I'm not working, I like to wake up, go to the gym. I go to my wife's restaurant, have a breakfast that's usually egg whites, cheesy hash browns, some sausage. Then I'll come home. I'll watch a little bit of wrestling, listen to some rap music while I get ready, and then it's on to the show. And then when I get to the show, I just kind of like to mingle. I'm definitely a talker, so I like to catch up with everybody, see how everybody's doing, and then I'm old. So I don't like to plan a lot of my matches out. I like to get a little bit of stuff, but I like to just go out there and work. And a lot of guys, it's always nice when you can just be like, hey, let's just go and wrestle. So, and then after match, obviously you want to shake hands, hug, have some drinks with the boys, mingle with the fans, come home to your wife and kids in one piece. Hopefully nobody was injured. Everything went well. Like last night was one of those nights where myself and my nephew, we wrestled a tag team called Barrio Bling. And it was just one of those matches where everybody was on the same page. Everything was firing on all cylinders. The crowd was into it. And the hot tag comes, and I got sad because I knew the end was coming. So, it was just, I wanted, there's going to be 2 more matches, but I just wanted more because it was just so good. And, it just had to come to an end. It was a lot of fun. It was fantastic. And like I said, you just know when unfortunately, there comes a time when it has to end. And I was a little sad.
I can understand that.
But man, it was a banger. So I'll definitely, when that one comes up, I'll definitely send you that. But man.
Sounds good. All right, Tap, what do you got?
Yeah, come on, bring the heat.
Question a lot of times, and we've only got one off the wall answer for this question. What is your favorite cookie or snack?
Oh, my favorite cookie or snack? When it's available and you can find it, I love Nutrageous.
Ooh.
Reese's Nutrageous, and I love homemade chocolate chip cookies. And cheesecake. Real, just normal cheesecake. I can't do, the different kinds of cheesecake, but yeah, if you get some normal cheesecake, man, watch out, because I'll steal it.
See, the man knows. He just hit the trifecta on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you the reason why we had one oddball answer to this question.
Was it Chris Masters?
No.
No.
So, quite a while ago, we had someone on here. We've had that question. He said, Axe body spray.
Who was this?
Funny Bone.
Bone is a wild guy. I don't know if you know a lot about Funny Bone, but I've wrestled Funny Bone twice. I actually, for Cactus League Wrestling, we had our only pay-per-view show, and I somehow defeated Funny Bones in 6 minutes on pay-per-view in the opening match.
Wow.
I love Funny Bone, though. I love him. Yes, he's a special individual. He's one of the best. He was trained by Nick Bockwinkel, and the man is so good upstairs with the psychology of wrestling and how everything works, but he's a very strange man. Very strange man, but one of the best for sure.
I can honestly tell you that was a very interesting interview.
Was he in Gimmick? Did he have his face painted?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Oh, then you actually got the Demon Prince or whatever.
Yes.
All right. Yes.
It was our only podcast. We had to put a parental advisory up.
He's one of the few guys I don't know his actual real name. But yes, I've been on many shows. I've been on many shows with him. DeShade out of Las Vegas is one of his proteges, one of my best friends. And yeah, I to this day I still don't know Bones' real name. Probably for the best.
I was gonna say it's probably there's a reason for that.
Yes.
So if you had a dream opponent from any generation, who would it be and why?
Probably Kevin Nash, because he's my favorite.
a great
I
answer.
would love him or Arn. Kevin Nash is my favorite, just because he's Kevin Nash and Arn Anderson. Everything about Anderson, I think there's not too many wrestlers that are perfect. And where Mr. Perfect was perfect, he was not as good as Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson is hands down the perfect wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a reason he was nicknamed the AA, the Enforcer.
The Enforcer, yes. So
Because
I've molded a lot of my career and the way I work around Arn Anderson. He's the reason I throw the spine buster. Nobody threw a spine buster like him, especially from the left side.
Right.
Right.
Or from so I go to the left, he throws it to the right side, which is weird. So,
Yeah.
but nobody throws it like him. I get a lot of compliments and say that I throw the exact same spine buster, just to the left side as opposed to the right side. So that's one of the biggest compliments I ever get.
Pound for pound, Arn Anderson was the best of the spine buster.
Absolutely. And then Roman Alexander.
Of course. And it's said in wrestling sometimes that certain people can wrestle a broomstick and make it look like a main event. Arn Anderson was one of those people.
Absolutely. But Arn was too smart. He would never do that.
Exactly.
Nope.
All right, Heartbreaker, what do you got?
I think he's asleep.
No, I think he's looking at pictures of him and the belt.
No, I'm actually doing something else, but it's fine.
Oh, you were looking at porn, weren't you?
No, I was booking another podcast, actually. I'm doing my...
Oh, wow. You have me on as your guest, and you're looking at other podcasts.
I'm doing...
So you were subscribed to Gypsy Max OnlyFans, huh? All right. I'm going to have to text her right now and tell her.
Let's see here.
I got to thinking about Gypsy's OnlyFans page.
No, seriously, no. Well, you know what, Nate? Go ahead.
Nate, before you do,
we got y'all flustered.
I was gonna say his cheeks are getting redder and redder.
Messiah, before you answer your question, you better do our sponsors.
All right. Well, I might need the Heartbreakers' help with this one because we have a lot of them.
It's your show, dude, not mine. Your responsibility.
Throw me under the bus.
Oh, come on. You guys are a team. You need to work together. That's what builds a team.
That's right. We'd like to thank Kevin Watson of America.
When the Messiah can hold this, then I will help. But until the Messiah can hold some gold, you're on your own.
See, like I
That's
said,
kind of a low blow. That's kind of a low blow.
We'd like to thank Kevin Watson and American Family Insurance, Bob's Little Car Hospital, Bruno's Pizza, El Ranchero Mexican Restaurant, Los Jalapenos Taqueria, Twin City Bank, American Tarps Rugged Made, Bruce Nichols Painting, the CARE program. Without the CARE program, there wouldn't be this podcast. And Precision Power Washing.
Burgerville, Longview, Kelso. Come on, dude.
And Unique Abilities Tattoo.
Twin Cities Bank.
Hey, there's no power washing like Precision.
That's exactly right.
Hey, that's probably
I think that's all.
Yep, that's it.
So, if like the one I asked before, if you had a dream tag team partner of any generation, who would it be?
Ooh, a dream tag partner. If I could team with anybody, just anybody out there, man, It would probably be either Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, or probably the Texas Tornado.
Ooh.
Kerry Von Erich. I know I'm kind of all over the place with different guys, but it's just different situations and stuff. You know, I think Davey Boy would be great to team with. So would Kerry Von Erich. Even though you never saw a whole lot of, unless you were watching a lot of that Texas wrestling, you never really saw Kerry Von Erich in a tag state. He was always a singles competitor.
Yep.
You know, especially when, you know, he lost his foot and stuff. And but I would have loved to team with the British Bulldog.
And
I would have loved.
When I watched your stuff, I started getting. I'm a very like visual learner, or watcher. So I'll get pictures in my head of like different things as I'm watching stuff. And those were the two people, believe it or not, that I thought of when I was watching you in the match.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I've been doing this a long time, so I'm not saying I'm the greatest, I'm the best, but I've been doing it a long time, and I'd like to think I'm pretty good, that I can still hang with these. It's not an old man's game anymore, you know. It's a lot like the UFC. There's a lot of young guys that do amazing things, and the fact that I'm 38 now and I can still hang and bang with some of these guys, you know, I figure this is the last hoorah. Because for some reason right now, I'm very well liked and my bookings have skyrocketed. I'm booked all the way all through 2024, at least one day a month, which is good. I'm booked every weekend, both days, the rest of the year. You know, I have to pick and choose my bookings because I'm a dad. I have a normal job. I'm planning for a wedding. I'm getting married next year. So, you know, I can't wrestle as much as I would like to, but I still wrestle a lot. And I'm having more fun right now than I've had in the last 10 years. And I'm enjoying it. And I'd like to, everybody says you never hang them up forever, but I think 40 for me is going to be the cutoff, just because 40 will be almost 20 years. I might just get the full 20 and call it, but I've worked with some of the greats, some of my heroes, and I could walk away with a great career right now, but I just don't know if I'd be happy. You know, I feel like when I don't wrestle, it's just been so much a part of my life, you know, and the constant grind and the road and just the fun with my family, my road family and my buddies and my friends. It's the best drug there is, the best drug and best alcohol, and it's a scary one at the same time because it's very addictive.
Amen. And what people don't understand, it can heal a lot of things too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever told this story on the podcast. So if you want to take a nap because you think I'm paint's drying heartbreaker, you can. But
just remember, you got to get into your last questions there in a few minutes too, sir.
When I came to a wrestling school about 20 years ago, which led me to get the ring that we did for the show that we're doing for the show, my dad and I weren't talking very much. We are now, but we weren't then. So there was like a hole in my heart where, like, you know, he was supposed to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I got around wrestling and I got around the guys in the locker room and in the building, they filled that void. That void.
Absolutely.
Right.
No, I believe it. My dad. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'll never forget that. Like, you know.
No, absolutely. My dad's only been to 2 shows, and one of them, both my little brothers were training before they left for the military. So they came home. We had a couple weeks to build to this show. So I had just come back, and I was a heel referee and just getting back in the ring. And my little brother came, and, you know, we cut a promo, and he was very sad. And because we were doing syndicated TV out here, and he told me he was watching from Iraq, and he was very upset at what I was doing. And we attacked him and took him out. The next week, he hit me with a chair. Comes to the finale. I'm tag team champions at a show. They acknowledge both my brothers in the crowd, military, home from Iraq. My dad's there, my mom's there, my sister. It's a small show, about 200 people, but man, it was hot. And I win my match, have a little thing with my brothers. The main event, our champion, part of my stable, loses, and my brothers come out and I attack them. Heat. Get them in the ring, beat them down. Somebody makes the saves. My brothers get the double suplex on me. Boom, big USA chant. My brothers get got the big pop. It was awesome. And my dad got to be there for it, which was cool. And then the second time, we did just like a swap meet show, and I was wrestling Human Tornado, of all people. And my dad got to see me wrestle Human Tornado, which was cool. Just randomly, had no idea it was going to be there. I come out, and it kind of threw me for a swerve. I was in the zone, and then I come out and I see my dad there, and I'm like, oh shit, my dad's here. Of course, get busted open, So.
All right, Heartbreaker, what's your last question?
I said you guys did your last questions. I mean.
Oh, okay.
Come on, let's see. Bring the zingers. Let's get some hard ones to end it. Let's end it on a good note. What you got?
All right, Principal, what's your last question?
This is where I let our guest trash talk his next opponent or opponents.
Well, that's kind of hard because, I see High Impact. So I've been away for a little while chasing tag team championships all over the country right now. And High Impact Wrestling has dubbed an interim champion for the Tucson City Championships. So they have a show this Saturday at the Thunder Canyon Brewery here in Tucson. And Ricky Flash, the owner, and coincidence, the interim Tucson champion, is going to be there. So I don't know if I'm going to show up, if I'm going to come and wrestle, but there's a chance I might just show up and beat the hell out of Ricky Flash and take that interim champion to show that there's only one Tucson City champion, and that's Roman Alexander. And then December 16th in Phoenix, Arizona, for Sonoran Championship Wrestling, myself and my nephew are going against Donnie Palmer and Billy Crook, the Cosmic Country. Now, these hillbilly, flapjack, no talent, having-ass, backwood country boys think that they can stand in the ring with the greatness of the Alexanders. They've got another thing coming to them. Because since the beginning of time, the Alexander name has reigned supreme in all aspects of war. So, ask yourself, Cosmic Country or Alexander? You be the judge.
Sorry, Cosmic Country, but I gotta go with the Alexanders after that promo. I'm sorry.
Yep, here.
So
how about you, Heartbreaker? I see you looking. How about you, Heartbreaker? You look like you might be a Cosmic Country fan. I can see you in the backwoods where the alligators roam. I bet you like your trucks real loud and your cars real fast.
Well, that's why they call me the Heartbreaker, right? I mean,
but I know deep down inside, you know what's good, and it's not Billy Crook, that crocodile hunter, and it's definitely not Donnie Palmer, that plumber.
Yeah, but I don't know how I mean, you sound cool and you've got a lot of experience and everything, but I just don't know about the name Roman. I mean, Roman has. Hey,
unlike Roman, my name's not Joe. My actual name on my birth certificate is Roman Alexander. That's my real name. I didn't have to make it up. I didn't have to be like, hey, my name's Joe, but I'm going to call myself Roman to make myself look cool. You can look at my birth certificate, my driver's license. My actual name is Roman Alexander.
I stand corrected.
It's not a fake.
I stand corrected.
So there's a difference between me and Joe. And hey, that guy is the best in the world right now. I will give him that. He is the best heel in the business, and he deserves everything he's getting, but his reign can only last so long. So,
but you still haven't answered this question. You still haven't told him who you thought's going to win that match. The Alexanders, or?
Well, I got to go with the Alexanders, of course.
I just made him a believer.
You did.
So, Messiah or Big Bird or Maxi Pad. Actually,
Crippler Crossfade.
That's right. There you go. I like that one better. So my last question is, where can we find you on social media, and when is your next match?
I'm old, so I'm only on Facebook. Roman Alexander. There's a few Roman Alexanders. Apparently, there's a country singer, the Roman Alexander Band. So sometimes I get some of their stuff. Obviously, my profile picture, my cover photo are me in the championships. So I only, I don't do Twitter and Instagram and all that. I'm too old for that, and I have a family, so I can't get caught up in the media stuff. So you can only find me on Facebook. I post 90% of my matches on YouTube. It's usually Roman Alexander versus whoever. Like I said, there's a good chance I might show up for High Impact Wrestling this Saturday night at Thunder Canyon Brewery. If not, my first official match for High Impact Wrestling returning will be the 18th and the 26th. The 18th will be here in Tucson at the American Legion, or not the American Legion, the VFW. I don't remember the post, but I post all my matches. And then the 26th, we're doing a toy run for Jesse's Tattoo Shop. It's the biggest toy run in Tucson. And then December 3rd, you can catch me at Lucha Libre 4. December 16th, you can catch me at Sonoran Championship Wrestling. More dates to come. You can catch me the third Saturday of every month next year defending this championship, because I don't plan on losing at Sonoran Championship Wrestling. So
very cool.
All right.
So you just have to follow my Facebook, unfortunately, to see what I'm doing and where I'm going.
Absolutely. Well, that is all the time we have for this podcast, but I'm sure we'll stay on for a few extra minutes just to talk for a little bit. But for Roman, for Maxi Pad, Big Bird, paint drying, whatever you want to call him,
Crossface.
I like that one there.
Look at that sly little smile of the principal tap ass down there. It looks like he's trying to hide something, or he got caught doing something and he just doesn't want to get picked on. Well, if you go
I think he's watching something over there that we're not seeing, and that's why he's got that face on. I think he signed on to Gypsy Max OnlyFans.
I think we talked about it too much. He had to.
Hey, got to put her over, guys. Show support. She's great.
So, with that being said, join us. Well, probably not until after AEW. That's right. We're off for a few nights because Messiah and I get to go to AEW on Wednesday night.
Awesome. Have fun, guys. And thank you again for having me, man. This was a blast. This was definitely a blast.
Welcome back anytime.